Hi, guys. Welcome. Happy New Year. Excited to be on. We got, obviously, Mike, who is the newest integrity partner, Dominique Rogers, and myself. We are beyond excited. That call today, I mean, again, Mike was talking about this, the lineup for conference, and I can tell you right now, in the 14 years I've been doing this, I don't know if I've ever been anywhere where so many unbelievably talented people will be just sharing what they've learned in this industry. So if you're not, first of all, if you're not going to be there, really need to check your heart, as is this going to be the industry for you? Because I can tell you, without the conferences, there's no way in the world I'll be sitting here talking to y'all today. Dom would probably tell you the same thing. Jamie, Mike, everybody. I mean, it's in fact, it's really where I got to meet and know Sean. And without Sean, obviously, you know how that went down. So super excited about conference. The lineup's going to be stupid. Barbara Cochran. We got what? Shannon Sharp. Who's the dude? Goggins. And then obviously Dave Anderson. And then there's another. The other last speaker, I've seen him. I've seen some of his stuff. I saw the podcast with Sean. I don't know him that well, but I can tell you, if he's not smart, if he's not going to spit out some really good stuff for y'all, he wouldn't be invited. A lot of people, a few people on this call will be speaking. Excited about that. We're going to be doing tons of IUL training, annuity training, final expense mortgage, everything you need to know about this industry. You'll learn in that weekend. It would take us 6-8 months to teach you everything you can learn in a 3-day period. If Dom tried to teach you, or Mike tried to teach you, or Jamie tried to, it would take us 6 months to do that. And with all due respect, like we don't have that time to sit on the phone with you for 12 hours a day. So my deal is, get there. It's free, obviously. They're going to give away, last year they gave away $700 million in, or $700,000 in leads. They're going to give probably more than that this year. So and I bought, I think we've got 40 seats, floor seats, VIP seats. I know Dom's got a bunch, Mike's got a bunch, Collie's got a bunch. All the leaders here probably bought a bunch if they're leaders, so that they can help newer agents out. I mean, even if you think about it, 150, there's $700,000 given away last year. There's 700 VIP seats. Odds of you getting $1,000 in leads is pretty damn good. Like, I'm not going to try and win leads. So I know Dom's not going to try and win leads, and Mike's not going to try and win leads, and Jamie's not going to try and win leads. So that's 4. I can pretty much guarantee every other person that's an integrity partner, or, you know, already somewhat established, they're going to want newer agents that are in a position that need some help to win those leads. So, dude, it's definitely worth every penny. And if you can't, like I said, for all the new people I talk to, if they can get there, I got a floor seat for them, because it'll change their world. So 2024, if y'all have seen what's gone on over the last year, and if you're brand new, if you've seen what's gone on in the last year here at FFL National, it's been pretty amazing to watch what has been developed. And I am taking zero credit for that, between what Mike and Jamie and with the feedback from Dom and Jesse and Nick, what they've done to build these leads, the CRM, the dialers, the appointment setters, it's mind-boggling. So a couple of days ago, we were talking about who's going to do $1 million in a year. I honestly believe that we could have 10, 15, 20 people in this team on this call that could do $1 million in 1 year if they really wanted to, because everything that's set up, all it is you sitting in front of a computer and your phone and taking calls daily. And to me, that's a hell of a lot easier than cold calling people or calling leads, setting an appointment, driving all over God's creation, getting no-showed, you know, getting porched, getting yelled at, getting thrown out of houses. I mean, the worst they can do is hang up on you. But what I'm hearing, with the success I'm hearing from these guys and girls, is, dude, these people are very receptive on what's going on. They know why you're calling, and they want you to help them. And anytime you can do that, anytime you can generate a lead that is like that, and I'm not like, you know, you could give me the phone book and I'm comfortable calling. I don't really much care. But I can tell you the more quality the lead, the more money you can make, and the faster you can make it. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to shorten that time frame from you not being very good to you being decent to you being really good to you being great. If we can condense that time frame for where it took people 2 to 3, 4 months to just get past sucking, if we can condense that from 2, 3, 4 months to 2, 3, 4 weeks, dude, we're gonna kill it. And the recruiting campaigns, everything we've been working on the last 12 to 18 months is now primed and ready to rip. And so for you guys that don't really understand this, it's okay. But for me watching from the outside, watching these guys, Jamie, Mike, Dom, Jesse, and Nick, like do this day in and day out, constantly tweaking systems, dude, it's pretty impressive. So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for just where the vision of the company's gone. I mean, I can tell you 3, 4 years ago, you would have never, ever heard Sean Mike talk about annuities and IULs at a national convention. It would have been spoke about on a day like before the conference started when attendance was really low and they used to call it advanced market sales. So if you're not really smart, you might go, oh, I'm not going to that. It's advanced market. And in reality, Simple Retirement Solutions is what it is, and it's what it really is. It's really simple. So I'm excited about this stuff because, guys, all of the things we used to do and have done for years has changed so much. But at the end of the day, it's still the 4 quadrants of this business: final expense, mortgage protection, IULs, and annuities. And that's truly what we're getting back to. And what's exciting for me is with the IUL leads, we've looked for annuity leads. I mean, I've tried every different annuity lead you can think of and hear of over the last 10 years, and none of them were any good. I mean, and those leads aren't $20, $30, $40, $50 a piece. They're $200, $300, $400, $500 a piece. And when you're spending that kind of money, you're expecting something to pan out. And I've dumped so much money on those leads and nothing ever panned out. But I'm watching Jesse ask the questions the way he was taught on a video he watched or a training he was at, and he's found, I don't know, he's found probably a $5 million. He issued over 1.2 or 3 in a few months. He's got another couple million he's looking and working actively alongside the $60,000, $80,000, $90,000 a month he's been issuing on life insurance. I mean, you're talking a few $100,000 extra in a year. The cool thing about annuities is they don't charge back. Cool thing about IULs is the persistency is 92% across the country. So when we look at building a business and making people and helping people become profitable, the way to be profitable is, yes, write more business, but B, keep more business on the books. And so all of the stuff that we've been working on the last 12 to 18 months is to put everybody in position to win. So I encourage y'all, if you haven't, the goal setting call Jesse did last week was phenomenal. It broke down very simply how you back into goals. And if you haven't written out your goals, you're already behind. Because I can tell you the majority of the people winning in life and in this company have already done their goals for the year. They already have a plan in place. They've already probably started executing it. Not the first of the year, but a few weeks, a month before the end of last year, because that's what winners do. They prepare and then they execute. So, dude, I'm super excited going into this year because I didn't, I've been doing this for 14 years, and Dom can probably attest to some of this stuff. But when things change and you see people not winning the same pace, or just it not working the way you had planned it out or thought it out in your head, you tend to get, I don't want to say because I would never call myself depressed, but you kind of get like tired, and I can tell you there was a point in time in 2020, 2022, I was like tired. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And the cool thing is that there's so many other people that are in this industry and in any business in life, and they go through things. And it's like, how do you deal with that adversity? That'll tell you everything you need to know about the person. We just kept grinding. But now it's like, I feel like I got a shot in the arm of adrenaline, and I'm just jacked going into this year. And there's some things that I'm going to promise y'all. and I want you to hold me accountable, just like you guys should have people that should hold you accountable. Jesse did it on the Zoom call with $1 million in issue paid premium, Hall of Fame agency, no, Hall of Fame annuities, Hall of Fame IULs, and then building an agency. And he said that because he wants y'all to hold him accountable, help hold him accountable. I'm going to say some things, and I want y'all to hold me accountable. And my deal for y'all is, I'm watching people work, and I'm watching lives be changed. And I've seen this for 14 years. And when you understand the opportunity we have here and what it can do for you and your family, when you actually see someone visualize that and then start to get it, and then start to get traction, and then go from making a little bit of money, working a job, to leaving a job, to making more money they could ever dream of, and then being able to help other people do the same thing, it becomes addicting. And so I'm going to work my ass off in 2024 to make sure everybody on this call that wants to get to a place can get there. Whether it's, mentor calls, whether it's lock-ins, whether it's traveling, whether it's doing meetings for y'all, I don't care what it is, whatever y'all need from me, I'm going to give it to you. And I can promise you that. As leaders, I don't want, we're financially, I've been absolutely blessed. Don's been absolutely blessed. Mike's been absolutely blessed. But real true blessing is watching other people get to that same spot. And so I can tell you from just the last 3-4 months of 2023, watching some of these integrity partners that might have lost some people that decided to get out of the business because leads weren't any good anymore. That was their excuse. Or they had a team that wrote bad business and then some debt rolled to them. They said, I don't want to do this anymore. And so these guys now everybody, we're in a small chat of integrity partners, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, it's called the fitness chat. I like to think of it as like the food chat, because we post more food in there than workouts. But these guys are beyond excited. Rob Richmond, who was on the call 3-4 weeks ago, dude, he's writing 8, 10, 12 grand in 2 or 3 day stretch in 3 hours a day. And he's excited. He's leading his troops. Dom's on live dolls, writing 30, 40 grand a month, leading his troops in the trenches. That's what leadership is. Not you making money and watching everybody else struggle. Leadership is you eat last. Good leaders eat last. Good leaders work their ass off until everybody's where they're at. That's how you build a team that will win no matter what the conditions are. What happens is we all got a little bit complacent in 2022 and 2023 because selling life insurance during COVID was like shooting fish in a barrel. If we're going to be honest, if you did 400 grand in 2020, 2021, congratulations, you're not special, because the whole world was scared to death to die. The media we were watching TV and the media was saying 700,000 people are going to die in the next 2 days. You know how easy, I could have called out of the phone book and go, hey, did you watch the news last night? You need life insurance. Be like, yeah, I do. Anybody could sell life insurance. So the cool thing about that is now it's real work, back to real work. Dude, the weak people are going to fall off. And that's okay. That's part of life. I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at it. When we fell out of the mortgage business, it's because we were unprepared and young. Or I was unprepared and young. Jamie was really mature, but I was really immature. So we didn't prepare for a market shift. So when the market crashed, we were like, oh, it wasn't going to be easy all the time? No. The good news about life insurance is COVID was a historical time in life insurance. Nobody ever seen growth like we did in 2020 and 2021. Moving into 2022, we started to see a shift. But the crazy thing is, numbers weren't bad. It just went from back to the normal numbers. Back in the day when we got in the business, we were on the phone setting appointments, and it might have taken us 6, 7, 8 hours to set 8 to 10 appointments 2 days in a row. During COVID, you'd be on the phone for 4 hours, you'd have 20 appointments set, no time. But that was not normal. And I think a lot of people got into this rhythm of thinking this industry is simple or easy. It's simple once you understand it, but it's never easy. And grinding and doing the same things day in and day out, that's consistency. That's what winners do. And so if there's anything that y'all need from us, I promise you we're going to give it to you. Now, don't call me and ask me for money, because I'm not going to do that. Don't call me and ask me for, a car. I'm not going to do that. But time, effort, energy, I will pour into y'all with everything I have, as long as it takes for you to get where you need to be. Now, if you're leading, like if you want to build a team here, the things that Mike, we're going to start adding this to the weekly call. We're going to start looking at agency numbers and then average premium per agent in your agency. Because what that will look like if we pull it right now and you look at Dom's average agency or average IP per agent, and you look at Jesse's average IP per agent, and then you look at another agent who issues $5,000 a month and look at theirs, I guarantee it, Dom's and Jesse's would blow it away. Because your agents, no matter how much you think they aren't, they're watching what you do. They're not watching Dom, they're not watching Jesse, they're not watching Nick or Mike. If you recruited them, they're watching you. So if you're working 4 days a week, they're going to work 4. In fact, they'll probably work 3, because they're looking at you as a leader and someone that's in charge. So they don't have to work as hard as you. And most of them work a little less hard just because they don't feel like they have to, because they're not you. Now, every now and again, you'll find somebody that wants to blow past you, and that's great. That's what we all want. But the majority of people will do half of what you do. In fact, when I was in the field full time, issuing 40, 50 grand a month, the average premium for our agency was $12,000. Dom, how nuts is that? I was averaging 40. The average agent averaged 12, and that's every writer divided by the premium, and that's how you come up with the average. So if you think about it, your agents are going to do 25% of what you do. Okay. So if you're doing 10, they're probably going to do 2,500. Can you support a family with $2,500 a month? No. Can you buy leads with $2,500 a month? No. You can't do anything but get frustrated and annoyed. So we're going to start focusing on the stuff that really matters in this business. And the message hasn't changed. It's never been anything else other than sell at a high level, recruit, and teach people how to recruit. Teach people how to sell. It's never changed, but we got away from it because people got comfortable and they got to where they were making money. This comp change and everything that's coming up March 1st, it's going to do a lot of good for people. And if you're on the cusp of where you go, I don't know if I'm going to get bumped, or if you have the right mindset going into this, it could change your entire world. Because what that will do, it'll get you back on the horse. It'll get you back doing what you should be doing. You should never, until you get to $1 million a month, you should never be relying on your team to pay your bills. At least $1 million a month. Because you're in charge. The best thing about being able to produce at a high level is, every month your bills are paid, you got food on the table, your kids can go to school, they can get clothes, you can pay your car note, you can have your office, your staff, your leads, all off of your personal production. That's peace of mind. But when you're not producing like that and you're watching people and you're essentially bugging people to go to work because you need them to work for your money, that's bad. And people won't follow that. So, Mike, we need to really focus on issue paid numbers divided by the amount of agents you have, average AP per agent. I can tell you right now it's low. So my goal is to get FFL national as a whole. That means everybody, the average IP per agent back up to 10, 12 grand. And if we do that, just with the amount of writers we have every month, we'll be at $3, $4 million a month. But 10 to 12,000 a month average, that takes full-time, part-time, everybody. Are there still going to be people that do 70, 80, 90 grand a month? Absolutely. But instead of the low end doing 2 to 5, let's get the low end doing 10 to 15. Because if you're even part-time, do part-time 15, 20 hours, 30 hours a week, dude, you can write 15, 20 grand in your sleep if you're using all the tools and the resources we have. We're also going to start doing every second Monday of the month, we're going to do a lunch and learn. That's Jamie's name, not mine. A lunch. So we're gonna have lunch at the office. We're gonna do some training. Dom, it'd be awesome if we could do like something in your office and we can kind of Zoom the whole thing, and you do some training, we do some training, get some people in the office, get some asses in the seats, get them on the phones, feed them, because that's what we do. We're Italian. But it's getting us back to the culture of being a family and a team. I think we lost a little bit of that, and it's okay. We're just going to make a correction in the course and go back to work. But that's what's on my mind. Dom, Mike, what do you guys got going into 2024? I know I talk to Mike every day. He's always fired up. Dom, you're always fired up too, which is I texted you last night. I was like, dude, so happy that you're a part of this because we need you.
Hey, dude. I first and foremost, I want to say just thank you, thank this whole group. You guys really helped this last half of the year, just really come together and be a part of something. There's one thing to be in business; it's another thing to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you go through business, you're going to go through things. You're going to go through. Sean's always told me, fall in love with your business and not the people in it. And what that means is they change. You must love your business. Because when you love your business, you'll always be excited and always have new people to talk to and grow it. And you'll have a community to be a part of. Okay. When it was just about the people, man, when they change and things like that, and then you don't have anything, that's when you start to be that T-Rex of a manager, as Brian Adams would say. Right. I don't know if you guys saw him on stage last year, he was talking about that. But when somebody with a company that size can say that, hey man, maybe I was a little bit too much as a leader, you got to be humble enough when you have businesses our size to go, you know what, maybe I could take some of that. So going into 24, I wrote down some goals and stuff, but I don't want to take time going through all those. But really, this year is about adapting and being accountable. Those are two things that are on my mind for 2024 and have been for the last probably month and a half. That I've been like, all right, cool. What do I have to adapt to, and what things I'm going to hold myself accountable for, and that's everything. All right, keeping everything positive. All right, throughout chats and leads and whatever, define a bad day, whatever that may be, just always being mindful of how impactful our words are, how impactful our actions are, and lack of actions, and be accountable to those things. Adapt, right? Like adapt to the force, like we're talking about SRS and IULs and annuities. Well, historically, man, if you're talking about Sean Mike wouldn't have talked about annuities and IULs, like, well, I guess I'm his black son. It makes sense because I really I don't know, like everything I know about this business like came from him. So if it was like, if he didn't talk about IULs or annuities, I was like, dude, I don't talk about IULs or annuities. I don't know. I don't do that. Right. And then Frank was like the stepchild that was like, he was doing them. And we were like, dude, that's kind of weird. Like, what's he doing over there? You know what I mean? Like, but that's funny. It's funny and all, but you know what? When it's time to adapt, you better change. So this year for me is like, dude, I'm going to be writing annuities. All right. I'm writing IULs, not just going to say, hey, this is what we're doing. And this is, no, I'm going to get in there and start and learn that stuff and start figuring it out and seeing how you can truly go out there and be a 7-figure agent. You guys, when I started this business 12 years ago, that was not even a thought. Sean he can act like he's always thought about it and things like that. Be clear, like, is this a recorded call? Be clear if he hears this, whatever. But like, come on, dude, we weren't even thinking about selling $1 million. That wasn't even a thought. Like nowhere close. Mark Mead sold $400,000. We said, holy smokes, this is amazing. So what's happening now? If we just rested on our laurels, And that's the problem with a lot of folks now is like they rested on like what used to be. And I'm like, dude, what used to be ain't what it is. We got Jesse Stamm over here putting up 100 G's a month personal by himself. So it's like, can we, like, I know what used to be, but if you don't adapt in 2024 and beyond, you will get left behind. And that left behind marker for all of you, if you start it now, like, you got to do it all. It's like you don't get to the CRM later. You don't get to a dialer later. You don't get to that stuff later. You do it now. You do it now. Makes sense? Like, that's like, you don't, I heard John Wetmore say, somebody asked him something about how he got his business so big. And they're like, oh, well, you could do that because your business is so big. He goes, no, my business is so big because I did that. You guys, hopefully you heard that. Okay. In 2024, you've got to put, it's not, oh, you can do that because, no, I can do that because I did that. You don't not have enough money for staff. You need to commit to it. And I think on Jesse's goal setting call, or Zoom last week, Nick chimed in, I believe, or somebody chimed in talking about automating your leads. He said automating your leads, but they talked about accountability. And guys, the biggest forms of accountability that when I started and going into this year that I'm have to get back to, and it's different. Like, I'm with integrity. You have to really get into, like, I'm checking my P&Ls now. It's like, it's different, but it's like when you are putting your money in and it's uncomfortable, that's when you know you're about to do something bad, which is good, by the way. Okay. If you're investing into your business and you're comfortable investing, it's probably not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, the levels that some of these guys, like what Nick's doing, I hear these guys, Jesse and Dean, and the level that they're looking to take it to, their lead investments aren't comfortable. Their lead investments, like, you know what I mean? You're not going, you know what I mean? Jesse's like, oh shit, like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's going to be about 20 G's this month. Yep. That's uncomfortable. Yep. But you have got to keep pushing it. So 24, I just say, keep pushing it, keep adapting, and remain accountable through all of these changes, through everything that's going to come at you. All right. And you got two ways to respond to anything. You got responsible or emotionally. And this year, I'm giving myself only those two. And I want to fall on the responsible response, because the only way, the definition of responsibility, or my coach told us this, is your ability to respond appropriately. That's the key word. Key word is appropriately. Everybody's going to respond, but do you respond appropriately? So this year, let's really be responsible. And in all of our interactions, be responsible, not emotional. And I can tell you 22, 20, 23, I fell on some of that emotional responses when I know, hey, dude, you could have been way more responsible with some of those situations. So that's what I got, man. I appreciate you having me on, Frank, and this team and what you guys got going on. I'm just happy to be a part of it, dude. Mike, it's all yours, brother.
Dude, Dom, real quick, Beaver. Dude, I love that. And do you remember somebody? I don't know who I was talking to the other day, and I was like, dude, Sean was so good at pushing us to be uncomfortable. It's like when FFL started and we started, because we all got a 30-40% comp bump because we didn't start agents at 50 and we started making some money. He's like, oh, they're making money. Frank, you need to go get an office. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, he's like, go get an office. And then we started making more money. He's like, dude, you need to hire another staff. I'm like, wait a minute, dude, I just started to get ahead. Then we started to get ahead more. He's like, dude, why don't you buy Jamie that truck? That was the first thing. Buy Jamie the truck. I'm like, I don't even know if I can pay for it. He's like, so what? Buy it. Buy the office. Get more staff. Hey, why don't you buy the office building? Dude, that was very intentional by him. And I never back then looked at it like it was that intentional. I knew he was trying to help me and trying to keep me uncomfortable. But as intentional as that was, dude, it's mind-boggling because it was it was a lot of money. And every month, the minute we started to being able to pay our bills comfortably, he's like, nope, you need to spend more money. And when you said that, it took me back. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so true. What Nick and Jesse and Depot, well, Depot's like an anomaly, and Dean, like they're uncomfortable at Leedsman. They're uncomfortable. Dean's uncomfortable driving 4 hours one way to run appointments. Jesse's uncomfortable working from 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Nick, same thing. But are you gonna rest and be comfortable, which is where I think a lot of us have gotten in 2022, 2023, or are we gonna get uncomfortable again and go back to the grind to help more people? You might be okay financially, but look at the people looking at you. If they're not okay, why are we resting? That's my deal for 2024, Dom. So thank you, man. Mike, I'm fired up for you, buddy, because I watched you work your ass off for the last 12 to 18 months doing everything you've done behind the scenes. And now I'm watching it come to fruition. And it's got to be like, dude, when I was in the contracting business and we would build buildings like hospitals and schools, and you go from watching ditches be dug and footers to be poured and then block walls going. When you watch something to go from start to finish, when you get back at done and sit back at the end of that, and you just cross your arms like, damn, we did that. Mike, I know that's how you and Jamie feel. So, dude, I'm blessed and honored to be in business with you. I appreciate all you do for the team. I know everybody does, but we don't say it enough. We just know you always do it. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you from everybody on this call, because you deserve it.
I appreciate you, and I tell you how much I do every day. I mean, working with you, Jamie, and now Dom is definitely, we're like the dream team, and it's so much appreciated. And then now there's so many other people in the group that are helping us take this thing to the next level, and being able to have someone like Jesse in the group, and then having and watching what Nick has been doing lately, and then watching what Dean is doing. The more that everyone just kind of believes in what we have in terms of a team, the more we'll grow. And so much so where even like the last, I guess, couple months, I've been busy. Jamie and I have obviously done a lot to try to build all this stuff to make things better, but it's been great to have other leaders in the group like Kali. When the other day I was swamped doing some stuff and I had an agent that really needed help. And for me to be able to reach out to Kali and say, Kali, can she plug into your group? Can you please help her? I'm like wrapped up. And Kali was like, yeah, sure. She can go ahead and jump in. And just having those kind of leaders around you to where we all, have I guess our certain specialties of things that we take care of, where we all kind of stay in our own lane, but they all kind of help each other and we help, push this thing forward. I think it allows everyone in this group to be able to take advantage of that. And right now, like you're saying, a lot of the stuff that we are doing, I think, is different from a lot of the other groups. And we have the ability in 2024 to take off, I think, more than any other team in this entire company. And I think if everyone would just really understand what they have and what they're part of and really take advantage of that, we can absolutely, truly explode this thing. Because not only the leads and the CRM system that we have that we're watching things change right in front of our eyes, but like what Jesse is doing and what Nick is doing, but the recruiting side, I just don't even think we have enough people taking advantage of that. And then once people start understanding that aspect of it, what we can do with that, I think that's when we're truly going to explode. So listening to what is going to take place at the convention, I mean, I was fired up after that call, hearing everything that's going to take place with that. I think what we all need to do as a group over the next, now I can't believe how quick, it's only 30 days from now. If we can just take the next 30 days and do nothing but push as many people as possible to this convention and introduce as many people as we possibly can to what we all have in front of us, I think that is what is truly going to get us to the next level. See, we already have all the systems. We have the people in this group to prove that our system works and that we have probably the best group in this entire company. But now the way to be able to get people exposed to that is we need to push people to this conference and then allow people to be part of this team so we can truly take it to the next level in 2024. So I'm excited about the people I work with. Like I said last week or the week before when I talked about being able to call someone like Dominique who, man, every time I call that guy, no matter what is wrong, man, I can't even see him, but I can tell he's smiling. And to be able to have people like that as part of this group is truly a godsend. So I appreciate being able to reach out to you, Dom, because I know we've all been through it. If you've been in this business any length of time, you've definitely been on the damn roller coaster. And to know what he's been through and still be able to talk to him, and he's always got a smile on his face, is truly, a blessing. We all have that we can lean on. So I think we have, like I said, the best group in this entire company. And watching the up and coming leaders in this group, it's just exciting to be a part of. And I don't feel like I've been here now 9 years. I mean, I feel like we're just starting over today. That's the kind of excitement I have. And to be in this office on New Year's Day, and there's agents in here, we'll probably be here till 8, 9 o'clock because we still got a bunch of stuff we need to take care of. I have like a whole list of phone calls, people calling throughout the day. And I'm like, I'll talk to you after the call, I'll talk to you after the call. And then, Angela came in, needed help. I was like, after the call. And now I look at my list and there's like 10 people now I got to take care of after the call, and it is New Year's Day where a lot of people are, taking today off. They think today is a holiday, and maybe for some people it is, but when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build something and make something happen, there truly are no days off. And again, I'm just excited to be in business with you, Jamie, Dom, Kali, and all the other leaders in this group, Corinne, everyone else, Jesse, Nick. I mean, I'm excited for what we're going to do in 2024. And I think we're just getting started as a team. And the quicker that everyone on this call realizes what they have, the quicker we can all take this thing to the next level and have this thing absolutely explode. So that's all I got, Frank.
All right, dude. Well, I appreciate you, buddy, more than you know. Dom, thank you for hopping on and sharing with us. Guys, everybody on this call, I hope your holiday season was incredible. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you had a great New Year. Let's ramp up, because the biggest growth FFL sees every year is the month after conference. So knowing that going into it and what it can do for you and everybody else that let's, exactly what Mike said, let's push it and push and push and push for the next 30 days and get as many people in those seats as we can, because we know what it's going to do to their lives. So
I got one other thing to add, Frank. We haven't talked about it enough, about the ability that everyone in this room, we could still have more people get an integrity partnership. They've kind of made that to where anyone can get that. And there's no reason why we can't have, 10 people out of this group be able to get that. But the only way we can do it is by pull together and have this thing grow and prove that we have more leaders and people that, integrity wants to partner with. And I don't think enough is talked about that, but we can definitely have more people come out of this group and make that happen. So
no doubt. No, you're good, man. That's a great note to wrap it up on, guys. So again, Happy New Year. I appreciate y'all. I'm super excited to see the faces that I don't see all the time in February in Dallas. And let's make it a huge start to the year by getting uncomfortable and working our asses off. For you, your family, y'all deserve it. You really do. And when you put the effort behind it, it will happen. So guys, thanks again, Mike, Dom. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Have a great night.